Ian, great to see you today.
Thanks for having me.
So what is next for Rod Rosenstein from what you can tell us?
Well, I think what's happening here is actually pretty interesting. The president has not tweeted about the Mueller investigation since roughly September 17th. Since that time, you've had the Manafort plea bargain, the scheduling of Flynn's sentence, and then a report that the president is getting close to a Mueller interview, whether it's in writing or whether it's in person. And then he's been remarkably restrained in how he's discussed the Rosenstein issue, even saying that his preference is to keep him on. I think the president sees the light at the end of the tunnel. I think he's confident in the result, and I don't think he wants to upset the apple cart right now.
What is the light at the end of the tunnel?
I think the Mueller investigation, not before the election, but I think at some point thereafter, you're going to see it wrap up. And I'd be surprised if the president was in any way implicated in anything.
So at the DOJ, you have a deputy attorney general put into place because your AG recused himself from the investigation that involves the president of the United States. You call it the light at the end of the tunnel. If it all wraps up, and the president is proven right that there's no collusion between his former campaign and Russia, if all of that moves forth, do you still see him firing people?
It's unclear. I will say this, the job of Deputy Attorney General is one that is very high stress, even in other times, right? I mean, if you look at the tenures of Deputy Attorney Generals, 2 years is about where they are. The president always said he wanted a fair investigation. And I think that if he finds that he got a fair investigation, I'm not sure that he would fire the deputy attorney general. I'm not sure yet, but I think that that is what he wanted. And if that's what he gets, we'll have to see what his response is. But I don't think it's guaranteed that he gets rid of people.
Well, you've been inside the DOJ. You have also a secondary lane, if you will, of narrative. And that is with the Bruce Orr text, someone who worked in the Justice Department and had his hands on this investigation, is married to a woman who worked for the anti-Trump dossier gatherer, for lack of a better word, Fusion GPS. What do you do in terms of those investigations into those people?
Well, I mean, that's currently within the hands of the Inspector General, and I think we've seen the Inspector General issue very thorough reports with Fast and Furious with the Clinton investigation. And I know that the leadership at this Department of Justice does not want to get in front of the Inspector General. They want to see what his findings are, and if it turned out that somebody violated department policy or if they violated the law, then they will act. But I cannot see either the Attorney General or the Deputy Attorney General making decisions before they have the full report in front of them.
So the questions around Bruce Orr have to do with a lack of trust, a lack of confidence, allegations of bias. How do you better the department? How do you win back the public's trust at this point? Or do you think it will just all float away once the investigation's over, overall, with the president?
No, well, I mean, I think that what they've done over the past year and a half has been working towards that. I mean, we talk about, over the next 30 days, it's before an election. What we saw in the last election is that you had James Comey come out and, as the director of the FBI, make conclusions in front of the country when that was not his job. We had questionable activity at the highest levels of the Department of Justice. Peter Strzok is gone. Andy McCabe is gone and currently under criminal investigation. James Comey is gone. They're taking this very seriously, looking to see how they can improve, and if people were involved in things that were dishonest or violated department protocol, they're not going to be there anymore.